The Brandson Park story starts in the 1940s and 50s, when a couple of groups in Castlegar and Kinnaird looked at building a community swimming pool. The Kinnaird Athletic Association had a committee headed by E.M. Pierpont to investigate construction, location, and costs. But nothing was built at the time, and unfortunately, it took a tragedy to give the project momentum. In 1958, 21-year-old Bob Brandson drowned while swimming with his friend Andy Evans near Zuckerberg Island. His family asked that instead of donating flowers, people contribute toward a swimming pool fund. And the Brandsons started it off by providing $500. A pool committee was formed consisting of E.M. Pierpont, A.G. Eldridge, Ed McGauley, Colin McKenzie, and James Macbeth. And in 1959, the first meeting of the Kinnaird Swimming Pool Society was held. Carl Loblick was acting chair and Helen Verjus acting secretary. Directors elected at the meeting were Alex Gray, Colin McKenzie, Ed McGauley, Monty Warner, Sam Muirhead, Bill Sheveldave, and Barney Brown. Later members included A.H. Cully, E. Mills, Pat Haley, B. Rourke, R. Wadey, and foreman Ed Kolszewski. With the help of over 30 canvassers, $6,500 was raised over 2 years. And in 1960, the village of Kinnaird donated a site at the lower end of what was then called Milestone Road. Plans were drawn up by local resident and Cominco engineer Gwillem Hughes for a pool 30 feet wide and 90 feet long, later reduced to 75 feet long. The cost was estimated at $18,500 for the pool construction, plus $10,000 for change rooms. Construction began in July 1960 thanks to volunteer labor and donated materials, including valves from Celgar, a bulldozer from H.B. Hayes, and building material from Gilpin Kaiser. The reinforced concrete shell was completed in 1960, and then they ran out of money. So there were auctions, bingos, dances, and theater productions to come up with the rest. And reportedly 5 families, including Bill and Lola Sheveldave, felt so strongly about the project that they took out second mortgages on their homes to ensure it was completed. The need for the pool as a safe place for children and non-swimmers was further highlighted by the drowning of 11-year-old Richard Horlick at Pass Creek that year. The completion of the pool was delayed when Cominco declined to fund the project, but it finally opened in August 1962 and the first Red Cross swimming lessons were offered. In May 1963, the Kinnaird Swimming Pool Society turned the pool's operation over to the village of Kinnaird because they felt it was too much for volunteers. The society left the village with a deficit of $400 and a list of repairs and tasks. Ed McGauley made a statement on behalf of the society, thanking Gwillem Hughes, Pat Haley, Sam Muirhead, and Edgar Kolszewski for the pride, energy, and enthusiasm, and many hours they'd invested in making the pool a reality. Over the previous 5 years, grants and donations to the pool totaled $23,000. That's the equivalent of $233,000 in 2025. It included $2,500 from the village, $2,700 from other levels of government, and $400 from the Kinnaird Athletic Association. The rest was from private donations. The pool was valued at $35,000. Sadly, in 1966, despite the presence of lifeguards, 5-year-old Barry James Kanakin of Kinnaird drowned in the pool. In 1967, the Kinnaird Aquanauts Youth Swimming Club was formed, using the pool as their home. Andrew LaMarche was the first president with 30 registered swimmers. The history of the Aquanauts and the Brandson Pool was closely tied from that point on. The club raised funds for equipment and began participating in swim meets around the Kootenays. As part of a Canadian Centennial project, concrete change rooms were built to replace temporary ones that Celgar had donated, and the facility was officially renamed the Bob Brandson Memorial Pool, with Bob's family in attendance. Over the next few years, a wading pool and playground were added. The Aquanauts hired their first full-time coach, Dennis Harrigan, and hosted their first meet in 1969. In the 1970s, the Brandson family presented a memorial trophy in Bob's name to the Aquanaut who earned the most points during the season's competition. Between 1975 and 1979, brothers Joseph and Michael Berger won the award a combined 5 times. Another outstanding swimmer was 16-year-old Cheryl Christensen, who at the 1980 Paralympics in Holland earned 4 gold medals in the 4x100-meter women's relay, the breaststroke, butterfly, and 200-meter individual medley. She also set a couple of world records. With over 130 kids enrolled, the Aquanauts were the largest and strongest swim club in the Kootenays, despite having the smallest pool. Their final meet at the Brandson Pool was in July 1989. Once the current aquatic center opened the following year, the old pool was closed and filled in, although Brandson Park remained on the site with a playground and picnic tables.